Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, I feel like it's been a hot minute. I haven't filmed in like almost 2 weeks. It's insane. But I am here now and today is the long awaited book haul. So we are going to film my book haul, but there's some things. So I have been putting off filming my book haul since my last one, okay? I have bought so many books. It's insane. So if you see like all the empty spaces, I've just pulled out some. Why? I have bought a lot of books. I have bought like maybe like 80 books since I last filmed my book haul. That's a lot of books. I don't even want to do because some people like calculate how much money they've been spending on books to try and cut it down. I don't want to do that because I feel like that's going to scare the hell out of me. So we're not doing that. But I know that I've spent maybe $1,000, maybe more. I spent a lot of money on books. Let me just film my favorite books. So my favorite books that I've bought. Let me film that, and that way it's more interesting. Let's get started. Okay, so the first books I will talk about. So I've been getting a lot of historical romances. Yes, I'm trying to get back into historical romance, back into it as if I ever started. I've been trying to get into historical romances and I'm excited just because I think I got like the most popular ones. So I got 2 Eloisa Jones, 1 Tessa Dare, 1 Lorraine Heath. Oh, that's the one that I already talked about. 1 Loretta Chase. So the Eloisa James is Say No to the Duke and Say Yes to the Duke. So this one is Say No to the Duke is we have Lady Betsy Wilde's first season was triumphant by any measure, and a duke has proposed, but before marriage, she longs for one last adventure in boy's clothes. No gentleman would agree to her scandalous plan, but Lord Jeremy Roden is no gentleman. He offers a wager if she wins a billiards game, he'll provide the breeches. If he wins, she is his for one wild night. So I'm excited for this one. I've heard really good things about Eloisa James. And this one is Saying Yes to the Duke. And this one is Miss Viola Astley is so painfully shy that she's horrified by the mere idea of dancing with a stranger. T. Her upcoming London debut feels like a nightmare. She's overjoyed to meet a handsome, quiet vicar with no interest in polite society, but just when she catches his attention, her reputation is compromised by a duke. Devin Lucas Augustus Elston, Duke of Winter, will stop at nothing to marry Viola, including marrying a woman whom he believes to be in love with another man. A vicar, no less. So yeah, I'm excited. Also, did you hear those names? We love historical romances. So these are very promising. I might just do a video dedicated to reading these. And then we have Loretta Chase, Lord of Scoundrels. Okay, so we have Sebastian Ballister, notorious Marquess of Dane, is big, bad, and dangerous to know. No respectable woman would have anything to do with the bane and blight of the Ballisters, and he wants nothing to do with the respectable woman. He's determined to continue doing what he does best, sin and sin again, until the day a shop door opens and she walks in. So it's Jessica Trent, not like other girls. Of course. Of course. And then finally we have Tessa Dare, the Duchess Deal. Wait, I feel like I have another one. I do. I was like, wait a minute, I bought 2 Tessa Dare's books. So we have The Governess Game, which is when there's a governess who comes and helps take care of these 2 orphan girls under the care of a rake. And then this one is the Duke of Ashbury's to-do list has been short and nothing but sweet from coming back from war. Now there's a new item on the list. He needs an heir, which means he needs a wife. When Emma Gladstone, a vicar's daughter turned seamstress, appears in his library wearing a wedding gown, he decides on the spot that she'll do. And then they have terms, as in the Duchess Deal. Okay, yeah, all right. And then I bought, let's say that for later, because it's like one of my favorite ones that I want to talk about. And then I bought The Black Kids by Christina Hemmings Reid. This takes place during the LA riots, and we have our main character. She's Black, and she grows up with these white privileged kids. And I think when the riots start, she realizes that her model Black family facade her parents have built starts to crumble. Because her self-destructive sister gets dangerously involved in the riots. So yeah, so remember the riots? Well, the LA riots 1992 was when Rodney King got viciously and horribly and unfairly and disgustingly murdered by the police, and the police walked free. And so this is just a, you know, like she said, like the description says, like a model Black family. And even though you can try to do the most you can to fit in, and even though you surround yourself with, or you're surrounded by white people, will never be in their eyes the same. So I'm really excited to read this. I mean, look at that beautiful cover. That's gorgeous. I love it. Gorgeous. And then I got 2 Holly Black's books. Well, 3. I got another one. So I got Tithe. I don't really know what that is. I just know it's like her kind of more fairy tales, like more tales of the fairies. So that's coming from Depop. And then I got these 2 from Depop too. I got the Modern Fairy Tales. This one is just the Modern Fairy Tales. You guys just saw my L on camera. This has the 3 different stories. This has Tithe, which I just bought, Valiant, and Ironside. Wow, I did not know that. Wow, that was an L. Oh, I took that L. That's an L I took. Wow. Anyway, and then I also got The Darkest Part of the Forest. Oh, I didn't even tell you what it's about. There's just 3 different stories about the Fae. So we have, oh my god, it literally says on the front. No one talk to me. The Darkest Part of the Forest. This one is, we have Hazel and her brother Fen live in Fairfield, where humans and folk exist side by side. Since they were children, Hazel and Ben have been telling each other stories about the boy in the glass coffin, that he is a prince, and they are valiant knights, pretending the prince would be different from the other fairies. But as Hazel grows up, she puts aside those stories. Hazel knows the horned boy will never wake, until one day he does. As the world turns upside down, Hazel has to become the knight she once pretended to be. Look at that beautiful cover. I'm still mad. And then I got the last books I needed to finish my Throne of Glass series. I finally have all Throne of Glass books except Assassin's Blade, but that one's like the prequel to it. So the Throne of Glass themselves, I can read it 1 through however long they are, 9 or something. So this one is the only Sarah J Maas series that I will go to bat for. I love this series. I haven't finished it. I just read the first one and I love it, except Sarah J Maas says, but it's her first novel, but she does use a lot of exclamation points. This, I am so excited to finish it. Finally. And I think I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to read ACOTAR. So like, at least I'm still in a kind of good mood. Like, I know that Sarah J Maas can write when I start ACOTAR. Okay, I'll be nice. So yes, so I am so excited to read this. This is the one where we have our assassin, Selena, and she is a part of the Assassin's Game in order that the king has held in order to become the king's assassin. And she was in prison because she's like Ardalon's, I think, like best assassin. And then the prince comes and is like, hey, if you're my champion for this game, like I'll set you free in like 6 years or something. So it's really good. I already know all the plot twists. Don't worry, I know all of the plot twists just because I wanted to see who she would end up with, Dorian or Kale. And you guys already know what I got spoiled. Everything. Because once I saw who she ended up with, I was like, wait, what? And then that's when I went deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. And so now I know everything. But you know what? I'm excited. How the hell does that happen? I don't know. I guess I'll read it. And then I bought Take a Hint of Dani Brown. I am going to be reading like 14 romances for My Love is in the Air, part 2, volume 2. And I finally got this one because I got the ARC for the 3rd one. And so I am so excited. I'm so excited because everyone loves this. They said this is steamy. They said this is good boyfriends. They said this is good female characters, good romances. It has everything. And so I am excited because there are people who don't like romances and they've read this trilogy, or they read like the first 2 books and they're like, romances for me? Maybe. So I mean, and I already love romances, but then there are people who don't like it because they say it's too smutty, or they say it's like not relatable, or they say they can't get into the characters and the romances. So tune in. I will let you guys know what my thoughts are. Got my book of the month for October. So I got my 2 add-ons. I do my 2 add-ons first. I got my 2 add-ons. I got Gods of Jade and Shadow. It's the one where the girl is unleashes like a Mayan god accidentally, and they have to recover his throne from his treacherous brother. So they have to go on an adventure together. I don't know if it's romance, because that would be kind of cool to see a Latina fall in love with the Mayan god of death. I'm just saying. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. Look at how pretty that. Look at how gorgeous that is. Look at that. I love it. The colors, like everything. It's like a vibe. I love it. Yes, give me more. Broken Girls by Simone St. James. I read her Sundown Motel and I loved it. It got me so scared. That's the one where the girl has to figure out what happened to her aunt who disappeared like 30 years ago from this motel, and it kind of plays out like a Twilight Zone episode because this motel is haunted and it's creepy and it's scary, and I had to sleep with the lights on. So this is from the same author. This is Broken Girls. So we have, again, a dual timeline. So we have Vermont 1950. There's a place for the girls whom no one wants. The troublemakers, the illegitimates, the too smart for their own good. It's called Idlewild Hall, and in the small town where it's located, there are rumors that the boarding school is haunted. 4 roommates bond over their whispered fears, their budding friendship blooming until one of them mysteriously disappears. Yep, Vermont 2014, journalist Fiona Sheridan cannot stop revisiting the events surrounding her elder sister's death. 20 years ago, her body was found dumped in the overgrown fields near the ruins of Idlewild Hall. Her boyfriend was tried and convicted of murder. It's always the boyfriend, or it's always the wife. It's always the spouse. Fiona can't shake the suspicion that something was never right about the case, and then Fiona discovers Idlewild Hall, and I'm guessing she goes in there to write a story and everything, and that's when she, you know what, hits the fan. So I am really excited. Simone St. James is really like good at writing horror. I highly recommend her, especially right now during spooky season. I feel like she will be very good to read during this time. I mean, all the time, but especially during this time, because I read The Sundown Motel in like summer and I was terrified. So I am excited to read this. I probably will read this like, I'll just read this like randomly, like the day before. No, because I have an exam the day before Halloween. Probably like the weekend before Halloween, or like a couple of days before Halloween. I'll just read this just to get into the mood, because I love also the fact that she writes standalones. So very good. And then I got my my October book of the month pick, and that was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Look at that beautiful cover. Yeah, you guys already know my thoughts about this. Spoiler alert, I talked all about it. I'll leave it linked down before in my ARC review. My hand up because I have some spoilers to say. So 3, 2, 1, go. I do not like the fact that she did not end up with the devil. I liked Henry. Henry was cool. And it was cool. I cried when everything was happening, when he was like, oh yeah, I only have like a year left or something. I thought that was very sad, but they sold me as she was gonna fall in love with the devil. Like, yeah, okay, like they said, like there's a guy who remembers her, but like I thought he was gonna give me like a, you know, devil girl romance. I was like, I was ready for it. And the bad thing though is that I would have loved to see that, right? But towards the end, I don't know, it was good. It was a 5-star because I just love V. Schwab's writing, but I just didn't like the fact that I just couldn't connect, first of all, to Addie and Henry. I love them separately. Together, and then I didn't like the fact that they made it out, like they made it seem like for us, V. Schwab wrote it in a way where I wanted the devil and Addie to end up together, because like the way that he was like chasing after, I was like, oh yeah, let's get it, you know. And like the way that he would like, you know, literally come in, I don't know, maybe just because I like those dark romances, those taboo romances, like I love that. So like at the end I was like, Addie, you're just gonna end up with him just because, like, what? I don't know. I didn't really like that. Like the romance part of it. The characters were good. The writing was beautiful. The plot was good. Like I said, the only thing that was kind of off was the romance. But I still give it 5 stars. I feel like if you love V. Schwab's writing and if you love her stories, you will love this. If you love her other books, like I do, they're on my Holy Grail shelf. Add Some and Vicious. you will love this book. I'm telling you now, even with my like kind of negative stuff that I have about this, I loved it. I thought it was good. However, if you don't love her other books, you will not love this. I'm telling you now, you won't. If you don't love her other stuff, this is exactly the same. Like, it's the exact same, like, you know, tropes. It's the exact same writing. Like, there's nothing new. There's nothing new in this that will sell you to her. Like, I feel like now V. Schwab I feel like she's one of those writers where, no offense, but she is writing to her fans now. And that's fine, you know? Her fans are the ones, like, she's on my, like, I will buy her books, like, you know? So it's like, that's fine because I love it. But I feel like you have to see if you're going to get into her, because I feel like she writes pretty much in the same exact way throughout all of her writings. So I feel like if you don't love one of her stuff, you won't love everything else. So I don't know where my hand's left. So I feel like if you don't love V. Schwab's other stuff, you won't like this book, just because it's the exact same tropes, the exact same romance, exact same characters, exact same writing. And so I feel like she's just playing it up for her fans, but that's fine. Like I said, that's fine. I'll get her bank. I'll get her money. Good for her. But I feel like if you don't love Adsum, you won't love this. If you don't love Vicious, you won't love this. If you don't love this, you won't love Vicious, you won't love Adsum. That's just, they're all connected. Like, her writing is all connected in that way, and that's fine. Good for you, V. Schwab. I love your works. I love your writing, but for other people, she's not gonna be your cup of tea. And unfortunately, that probably means none of her books are gonna be your cup of tea. Fura, whitewashed again. Furia. This one is by Yamil Sayed Mendez, and this is a soccer novel, and she is basically trying to make it big in the soccer world, and she's a woman, and so she has certain expectations laid out for her, and she has to defy them and go do what she wants to do. I've read really good things about it, and this is a Reese's YA book club pick, which is really, really, really cool, and I'm excited to start it. Yeah, it's kind of like a middle grade, like the font is big. Go support your Latinx authors, everyone. And then I have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I saw this in Mika, from Amika Gus's book haul, or when she went to Barnes & Noble's, and I was intrigued. First of all, look at that. This is like my new favorite color, emerald green. Love it. And so we basically have this girl who inherits millions from this like wealthy billionaire or something, and she's like, who are you? So then she goes to his estate to like get the money, and she finds out that his heirs were expecting to get that money. So now they're trying to like swindle her out of it. They're trying to say that it's not legal. They're trying to steal the money, all of that. So caught in the world of wealth and privilege with danger around every turn, Avery, that's the girl's name, will have to play the game herself to survive in this twisty, thrilling new mystery. Yeah, so they're all disinherited, the 4 millionaire boys who were expecting their grandfather's money. So that's for them. Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. This one is a high fantasy, I think. So we have Kira, who finds an alien relic during a routine survey mission on an uncolonized planet. At first she's delighted, but elation turns to terror when the ancient dust around her begins to move. As war erupts among the stars, Star Wars, Kira is launched into a galaxy-spanning odyssey of discovery and transformation. So yeah, so so for Libro FM's program, this was one of the options, but I can't read, like, I can't listen to high fantasy. Like, I already have enough trouble to pay attention during audiobooks, so I feel like I can. So that's why I got it, and I'm so happy that, because look at that beautiful cover. I love this blue too. I love that. It's so cool. Back into fantasies, but after I read my romances. I got A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Mayana from Mayana Reads is obsessed with this book, and so when she was raving about it, I was like, check out, let me get this. So this one is basically, it's like a dark academia. We have this girl who goes to this school to survive, and it's like witches and warlocks and monsters and all that. So yeah, so I'm really excited to read this, just because a lot of people have said it's really, really good, but there has been some controversy around it, so I want to read it myself before I get into it, because I don't want to talk, and then little, you know. So I'm really excited. Also, I love that cover. Last book of The Trial of Apollo. This is not really anything new on my channel. I just got the last book. Percy, I love you. Annabeth, I love you. Nico, I love you. Will, I love you. I love them all. So I'm excited to finish this. This is it. This is the last for Cat Half-Blood, and I'm sad, and I'm probably gonna cry, and I might do a whole video about it. So, and then Mayana also raves about From Blood and Ash. I got this one. I don't know what this is. I think it's this girl who falls in love with her bodyguard. I don't know, and then she has to ascend or something. I think Chandler also read this, and I don't know, she has to like go through this ritual and she has to ascend or something, and then she falls up with her bodyguard. I don't know. It's like more of a like new adult romance fantasy, I think. It's very romance heavy, so I'm excited about that. That's something new. I haven't really read like a romance heavy fantasy. I'm excited just because people said the romance is really, really good. I haven't really heard much about the fantasy aspect of it, which is kind of, I'm side-eyeing it a little bit, but I've heard the romance is really good. So honestly, most of the times I will give it like 3 or 4 stars if the romance sells me. So, and I got from Depop Leviathan Wakes, and this is another high fantasy. This is just like a space odyssey, space wars, Star Wars, kind a high fantasy. So I'm excited to read this. It's like a whole, I don't know if there's only 2 books or it's like a whole series, but a lot of my mutuals love this. Erin from Booked and Busy, Mina from Mina Reads, and Kay from I Love Books Okay have read this and they loved it. So I am excited to read this. I got, oh yeah, and then Legendborn is coming in the mail. That is a Dark Academia with this main character that's black, and she, I think it's like has magic because the cover, look at that gorgeous cover. She's like doing magic, I think. I'm not really sure. I just heard great things about it. So I highly recommend that just because people who I trust with their reviews have said it's amazing. So I think you guys should buy it too. Yeah, so that's also coming in the mail. And I think, oh, and then I got the Green Creek series. Yes, we love the Green Creek series. I haven't read it, but we love it. This is by TJ Klune. And I got the last book that just came out. That's coming. So this one is werewolves, and I think it just follows like different relationships of the same pack throughout the 4 books. And yeah, all of those werewolf tropes, ABO, all of the stuff that, this is TMI, but all of the stuff that I love in werewolf fanfics by some of my favorite relationships. Should I do a whole video about that? Like what I read on AOA 3 and my favorite fake tropes and my favorite relationships, because some of my favorite relationships might shock you. And I mean favorite relationships of all kinds, TVs, movies, books, like stuff that I read on AOA 3, Archive of Our Own, because canon doesn't give me enough. Should I do a whole video about that, just exposing me? Might as well, right? Should I don't know, tell me. Also, should I do a whole video of how I annotate, because I'm annotating a lot for a lot of my secret TBRs. So I don't know, are you guys interested in that too? Let me know, those two. Okay, so all of those fanfic tropes that I love about ABO, about the universe of ABO and the werewolves are in here, and I love it, and I love it, and I love it. Also, TJ Klune's writing, obviously amazing, show-stopping. He is the moment, he is iconic, he gives the girls what we want. Yes, I am so excited to read this. I think I'm going to read these after I do my, I think after I read my romance. So right now I'm doing my, I read my sad books, and then I'm doing my my romance books, and then I'm doing these. So that's what's coming up in my channel. So yeah, so I am so excited to start this, and yeah, oh my god, that's it. I don't know. So those are my favorite books that I bought in like the last like 3 months, 4 months. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for holding on in there. Thank you guys for not laughing, seeing me take the biggest L and buy a book that I already have. If you are laughing because of that, that's okay. I laughed at myself too, even though right now I'm a little bit hurt, but you know what? We move on. So let me know about those 2 things, about the 2 things that I said, or if those are cool enough to film, if you guys would be interested in that. Is that funny? Is that creative? I don't know. Okay. That's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I know I've been on a hiatus kind of, just because school has been like being crazy. And I mentioned that in my 10 series I need to read before law school goes insane. I said it. This is the time when things would be insane, and they are insane. So I haven't really been reading that much. I'm currently reading Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I love it. I love it. I love it. Highly recommend that one. So make sure you follow me on Twitter, Goodreads, Instagram, because I am more active on there. And so I'm going to try to film more. And I really thank you guys for being patient and, you know, still sticking around, even though I have been kind of MIA. It really means a lot to me. So thank you. And that is it for me. Again, now it's really done. Now the curtains are closing. It's done. It's done. Okay. And I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and go read your favorite book for me. Bye. My guy's pretty like a girl, and he got
got stories to tell. I see both sides like Chanel. See on both sides like Chanel.